Today, we're going to talk about something a little different, the hidden side of being highly empathetic. We're diving deep into the dark psychology behind what makes you so incredibly good at understanding other people.
You know the feeling, right? You walk into a room and you can just instantly read the energy. You know what people are feeling, you know what they're trying to hide, and you know exactly what they need to hear. Everyone tells you you're an amazing listener, but at the end of the day, you're just left feeling completely and totally drained.
So let's get into it. Chapter 1, the empathy myth. We're going to look way beyond this idea of empathy just being some kind of natural gift.
Okay, so here's the core of what we need to understand. The myth is that your empathy is this wonderful, natural gift you were born with. But the reality? It's often a hidden survival mechanism. It feels like a superpower for sure, but where it comes from, well, that's a much deeper story.
Just let that sink in for a second. You didn't learn to read people so perfectly because you're just a nice person. You learned because at some point in your life, your emotional or even your physical safety literally depended on being able to predict what was going to happen next. So that brings us to Chapter 2. Let's talk about what's in this toolkit. We'll call this your survival toolkit, the skills you never asked for.
Think about how you pick up on the smallest things. A tiny shift in someone's tone, a little pause before they speak. Well, in psychology, there's a name for that, hyper-awareness. It started as a way to sense danger, a survival skill, but it's become this permanent part of you, a way to see conflict coming and keep the peace.
And this is where it so often begins. This intense, almost supernatural ability to understand everyone around you, it usually traces right back to your childhood.
And that brings us to our next key term, parentification. This is what happens when, as a kid, you had to manage the really complex, grown-up emotions of the adults in your life. You essentially became the emotional caretaker, learning how to fix problems and soothe people just to make your own world feel stable.
Okay, Chapter 3, the price of perception. Because understanding everyone so well, it comes with a serious cost. Let's talk about the dark side. And this really gets to the heart of it. When your early environment is chaotic or inconsistent, your nervous system basically learns to stay on high alert 24/7. You're almost never caught off guard because your brain has already played out every single possible negative outcome. So the key takeaway here is that you analyze people so perfectly because your brain is just trying to protect you. It's in this constant state of prediction, always trying to see their next move so you don't get hurt again.
And here's the other side of that coin. All that inconsistency, it teaches your brain to stop expecting help, to stop waiting for comfort. You become incredibly self-reliant, not because you wanted to be, but because you had to be.
You know, the darkest part of understanding everyone else is that you can completely lose touch with yourself. You spend so much energy monitoring others that when someone finally turns the spotlight on you, your own inner world just feels empty, blank.
And it's such a profound, painful irony, isn't it? You can hold space for everyone else's deepest, darkest pain. You listen, you validate, you offer them the kind of insight that makes them feel truly seen.
And yet, when it comes to your own pain, you handle it all completely alone. You're this deeply empathetic person who is also fiercely, fiercely guarded because you know what it costs to care that much.
And because you've gotten so good at adapting, at seeming fine, nobody ever really thinks to dig deeper, to ask if you're okay. And that creates this silent, lonely island where you see the entire world with perfect clarity, but you feel completely invisible in it.
Okay, so what do we do with all this? Let's move into our final chapter, Chapter 4, Finding Your Balance. It's time to start reclaiming your inner world. Here are 2 really concrete steps to start with. First, you have to let other people manage their own emotions. Just because you understand their pain doesn't make it your job to fix it. And second, you have to take that incredible laser-focused awareness and redirect it inward. Start practicing setting boundaries. Start taking up space for yourself.
Look, it's time to stop being the perfect emotional interpreter for everybody else. The most important thing you can take from this is you need to start giving that same profound, compassionate understanding to yourself.
I really hope this explainer helped you connect a few dots and understand yourself a little better. Your empathy is an amazing tool, but it's time to point some of that incredible power back at you.
If it did help, do me a quick favor and hit that like button, subscribe for more insights just like this, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
And finally, please take care of yourself. You really, truly deserve it.